the paid version of Zoom. Welcome, everybody. So, Wednesday. It's Wednesday morning. I forgot what day it was then for a minute. Right, let me just get everything all ready. So, we obviously had a quiet day yesterday. No trades. No trades triggered yesterday. So I've gone slightly more aggressive. A lot more aggressive. So we'll go through those trades in a bit. But as always, we need to be looking at the dollar first of all. Every single day, this needs to be where you're coming to. So, US dollar, what is happening? Still, obviously, I would class this still as a bit of a downtrend. We obviously gapped open yesterday, but then obviously spiked back, sorry, Monday, but spiked back up to these highs. And now we're trading below 97,500. But as you can see from these candles here, look at the volume. Liquidity is small. All right. So that tells me that market hasn't really made its mind up which way it's going to go at the moment. So, I kind of want it to go one way or the other. It's dollar trading is very, very easy when dollar is comfortably heading one direction. All right, that's what makes trading very, very easy. I'm just going to check the yeah, everybody's well, right, perfect. So that's what we want. That's the kind of perfect scenario. Then, next one, just have a glance up at yields, how they're doing for today, not going crazy. This is obviously one thing that we went over yesterday. If you haven't watched it, watch the live. I go over obviously gold macros. There's also the document underneath it. So hopefully it's going to give everyone a better idea. So yields up, slightly, but nothing crazy. And then, stocks are obviously, I'd call this about break even. All right. And so, let's wait and see what happens here. So, going through what we've got coming up for today. All right. We've got some inflation data. All right. The CPI, that is going to be important. Euro's normally pretty much on it. If they obviously have, lower inflation, let's wait and see obviously what happens here. They're tipped to be, lower. So yeah, let's wait and see. And then obviously we've got obviously non-farm employment change ADP. So that's going to give us sometimes it gives you a bit of an outlook of what's going to happen on Friday. We've got some jolt data coming out too. That's at 2 o'clock, and then obviously quarter to three we've got PMI data, as well as obviously PMI data for the pound. So I actually think pound could potentially start to strengthen. I'm feeling a bit of a turnaround here in the UK anyway. I think we've hit rock bottom, and I think the only way is up. So let's wait and see whether that obviously transcends onto the FX markets. But yeah, nice obviously. Nice quiet build up. Tomorrow is heavy, all right? So tomorrow, get ready. It's going to be a massive day. Rate decision for pound, rate decision for euro, jobless claims in the afternoon. So we've got a lot. I'm going to be locked in all day tomorrow. So yeah, let's wait and see what happens. We've got obviously not going to change interest rates for euro and not going to change interest rates for pound. Yeah, you can see here pounds interest rates they're a lot higher than euros, So yeah, it is quite interesting in that respect. I'm glad that we have kept them high. It's going to flood money. I do want some the pound to obviously have a bit of a pump towards the end of this quarter. So let's wait and see. Right, trades we've got today. We had gold. Do you know what? If I show you this on a 5 minute chart, okay, I posted this trade at 6:35. I had it already at 6:20, but 6:35 I posted it. It was in this area for ages, and I didn't manage to post it in time. So yeah, we've just missed out, but that would have been a very, very nice move here. So let's wait and see. Still obviously a chance for this one to trigger. I went aggressive. I haven't pushed it too high. Because I think we're going to be very, very, similar. We've tracked up during Asia. So if we look at the Asian, session on gold, it was pretty big, continued upwards. But about our TP from yesterday, if our gold trade had have tapped in, but it didn't. So very, very aggressive Asian, session here. And so let's wait and see, obviously, how that one pans out. We're going to leave that trigger open. But yeah, I've gone a lot more aggressive today. We then had USDJPY triggered, running, nicely. So pretty happy with that one. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see this, but I think 56265 was my entry. So 5626, yeah, five. So roughly where it is. Not much drawdown, dropped it into a bit, but yeah, happy with this one. Gonna obviously let that one run for a bit. GBP USD is also triggered, stayed well within the zone here, so happy. That was about my entry, so that is now in profit too. So yeah, pretty happy with that one. Looking like it's going to scale. The only one not sure whether to close out a bit on USDJPY because I do think dollar might potentially be hurt. Euro, I was looking to sell this just because of the overall trend, and Euro's not been performing particularly strong. You can see how much obviously how much like Aussie has moved up compared to Euro, so that there's a lot of weakness here. That's why I'm happy to kind of have this one in the opposite direction. So yeah, let's wait and see what happens here. Pound Aussie flying. Aussie's been our top mover. Flying well. Really, really happy with this one. So yeah, we've obviously got euro to come. We've got gold to come. So let's wait and see. Like I'd said, because we obviously had such a good day. Let me go on my journal. We obviously had a really, really good day Monday, record day, no trades yesterday. That is hard to see. So I have gone ultra aggressive. Ignore this. I was playing around with this thing because you can set like a withdrawal plan and blah blah blah. I'm just obviously waiting for it to go away now. But yeah, so let's make sure this is a nice green tile here. But yeah, it's looking very, very good. I mean, AUD USD flying, GBP USD flying, gold unfortunately just missed out. USD JPY flying too. So yen, obviously, let's have a look at yen. Yen is very, very weak. Yen's the weakest pair by an absolute country mile. That's why we've got obviously, we're selling the dollar against Aussie pound, but obviously yen is still outperforming. All right, so this is one thing you've got to remember. Every single day, we're obviously ranking the currencies, or the countries as a whole. So if you're, buying GBP against the, US dollar, you've got to think today is pound outperforming the dollar. And I think, just obviously have a look at, trading FX in that respect because it's going to really, really help you as opposed to just looking at the whole FX market as just bars and charts and, price action. All right. Remember what I was, speaking about yesterday. It doesn't matter what you're trading. There's a picture behind these charts. These charts are for entries only. All right. But the actual overall trend, the overall picture is painted in regards to, the data and outlooks. All right. So obviously this is, something I'm going to carry on going over. So yeah, I've gone over euro and pound. So yeah, um, that's what I've gone over, Aki. And does anyone have any questions at all? Happy to answer anything at all. Feel free to hit me up. Gold, yeah, I'm a bit gutted we've missed out on this one, but it is what it is. USD JPY tapping up nicely. Euro USD might trigger, pound going nicely, and AUD going nicely. So everyone should be in some good profit this morning. So yeah, good start. I am going to keep on being a bit more aggressive today. So let's wait and see. I'll probably get this afternoon's trades out about 1 p.m. So yeah. Am I closing out USDJPY? I'm going to monitor it for a bit. I mean, you could pull stops to break even. I'm personally probably about 16 pips, and so you could, to be safe, pull stops to break even. But obviously, if we're looking at the dollar here, for us to be confident, it's got to close below here, and obviously, we're not going to get that confirmation for another probably hour and a half. So, do you ever look at silver? I think everyone who was trading silver, um, because of this hype, there's been a new current hype, all right, on silver. It's been trending, but anyone trading it, I think probably 80% of accounts were blown, last week. If you think it dropped 39%, probably over 40% from the highs. Why, honestly, why would anyone want to trade something that in? And then let's have a look at how long it took. It took a week. So if you look at this, right, why would you want to trade? I mean, it's worse than a crypto. I said it's like a crypto meme coin. But if you think in one day, right, it took out 38%. All right. How can you trade that? Because if you've got no stop loss, you have had it. Absolutely had it. So yeah, just be very, very, very wary to be drawn into hype. In a minute, Bitcoin will be like, we're on a high, we've hit the bottom. Get into Bitcoin, everyone will be trading Bitcoin, and then it'll be XRP. Oh, XRP is going to fly. Everyone goes into XRP. One thing you will notice about me, I stick to my plan. All right, I wrote it out. I've got a very very strict plan. I edited it and kind of finalized it last November. I was in Dubai. It was after a good meeting. I started here, and I've never looked back. I think we've had one losing day. We've had two losing days since, but obviously, I don't get drawn in. All right, I don't get drawn into what anyone else is doing because I understand what I'm doing. I understand, why I'm doing it, and obviously, by all means, I know that there'll be lots of people here trading lots of different things. But obviously, just try and the reason I do these 8 o'clock, lives is I want you guys to understand why obviously we're entering things the way that we are, not just me just blasting out stuff. Obviously, I'm documenting what I'm doing exactly the same thing as what you guys are. But obviously, I want you guys, it's 8 a.m. No one else does this because they can't. If I was to blast out 5 trades, which are absolute, dirt trades, I'm not going to be able to hop on live and look at everyone with a straight face. That doesn't ever happen. But obviously, just don't. The only thing that I would say, and I'm glad that you've brought this up, don't get dragged into hype. Everyone's always going to get dragged in. For example, I didn't trade gold for a good couple of years. I only started trading it again last year because I was doing so well with currencies, and I'd recommend it for everyone. Because if you can trade currencies, you can trade gold, but you get in a better routine with currencies because they don't, you're not going to have these crazy moves. All right. So yeah. Can you see a break above 5,000 for gold? We're already above 5,000. So yeah, we're on 5,082. Uh, Gold is obviously, if you're on the live last night, Dorian, you'll have taken in that gold is priced in dollars, and obviously that's why it's so key to obviously understand where and what the dollar is doing, as well as obviously gold. So yeah, does anyone have any more questions? Any more for any more? Otherwise, we'll end it. We'll focus, and yeah, we'll smash it. So looking forward to today. We're going to go ultra aggressive. I've turned it up, and I'm gonna, make sure that we are, properly, dialed in. So yeah, we're gonna make sure today is a green day. So have a good day, everyone, and I will catch up with you throughout today. I've actually going to get a new putter today at 11. So yeah, I'll be offline from 11 to 12. But yeah, it's so I'm pretty excited to do that. So let's go, guys. Have a good one.